हेलो दोस्तों, दिस इज भारत कुमार एंड यू आर वाचिंग माय चैनल निर्मल इन्फो अपडेट्स।
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left.
India is fast inking reciprocal military logistics pacts with like-minded countries to extend its strategic and naval operational reach in the entire Indian Ocean region (IOR) and beyond, with an eye firmly on China's expansionist behavior in the Indo-Pacific. After similar agreements with the US, France, South Korea and Singapore, it was India's turn to ink the Mutual Logistics Support Arrangement (MLSA) with Australia during the virtual summit between the two PMS on Thursday. That's not all. India is set to ink a military logistics pact with Japan next, while similar agreements with Russia and UK are also being negotiated, said sources. The MLSA will enable our warships to get refueling from Australian tankers on the high seas, while also availing of berthing, maintenance and storage facilities at Australian naval bases. It will, of course, be on a reciprocal basis, said a source. The Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, MOU, inked with the US in 2016, similarly gives India refueling facilities and access to American bases in Djibouti, Diego Garcia, Guam and Subic Bay. The one inked with France in 2018, in turn, also extends the Indian Navy's reach in southwestern IOR due to French bases in the Reunion Islands near Madagascar and Djibouti on the Horn of Africa. The MLSA with Australia will help to extend the reach of our warships in southern IOR as well as the western Pacific region. The region south of the Indonesian Straits is also important for us, said the source. The paths are crucial for India in the backdrop of China fast expanding its strategic footprint in the IOR after its first overseas military base at Djibouti became operational in August 2017. China, of course, also has access to Karachi and Gwadar ports in Pakistan for turnaround facilities for its submarines and warships. It is also trying for military bases in Cambodia, Vanuatu and other countries to further consolidate its presence in the Indo-Pacific. Closer to India, China has 6 to 8 warships deployed in the IOR at any given time. Furiously modernizing its naval forces, from long-range nuclear ballistic missiles and anti-ship cruise missiles to submarines and aircraft carriers, China has commissioned well over 80 warships in the last 6 years. Though India is yet to formally invite Australia to join the trilateral Malabar naval exercise it conducts with the US and Japan, India is steadily cranking up its bilateral military engagements with the country. India and Australia conducted their biggest ever naval exercise called AUS Index to build interoperability off the Visakhapatnam coast in April last year. So, in effect, there is already a military construct to the so-called Quad of like-minded democracies for a free, open and rules-based order in the Indo-Pacific, said sources. Indian and Chinese forces are facing off by a glacial lake in the Himalayas that traverses their fluid frontier. The standoff at 14,000 feet, 4,270 meters, is the most visible theater of conflict between the world's two most populous nations, but it's far from the only source of friction. Despite the remote location, the military buildup at the undemarcated border at Punggol Tso Lake should not be seen in isolation, but set against the backdrop of Beijing's deteriorating international relations during the coronavirus outbreak. Tensions are flaring as governments from the US to Europe, Japan and Australia move to cut dependence on China exposed by the pandemic, and India spies an economic opening that it's seeking to exploit. But analysts of India-China relations say Prime Minister Narendra Modi risks stoking tensions with Beijing and siding too closely with Donald Trump at a time when the US president is picking a fight with China. India has increasingly been seen as aligning with the US, and that can't benefit India in the long term, said Phchok Stedane, a former Indian diplomat and author of The Great Game in the Buddhist Himalayas. India and China's quest for strategic dominance. The Chinese have a saying, "Kill the chicken to scare the monkey," said Stedane. That's why smaller powers like India and Australia, who have aligned with the US, are witnessing a more aggressive China. The origins of the standoff that began May 5 remain unclear. India says it was surprised by China's deployment of troops at 3 locations on its border, including 2 in Ladakh, a region of strategic importance nestled between western Tibet and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir that was recently brought under federal control, a move that angered China. The government concedes that tensions may have been triggered by completion of a road and bridge in the Galwan sector of Ladakh, part of a border infrastructure program that Modi's government says is intended to develop remote areas rather than aimed at any particular country. Called the F-21, the remodeled planes incorporate several specific to India technologies, according to Lockheed developers. Some of these technologies include an advanced, Northrop-built APG-83 active electronically scanned array, electronic warfare systems and triple missile launcher adapters, allowing the F-21 to carry 40% more air-to-air weapons than previous F-16 designs. The F-21 is also the only fighter in the world capable of both probe/drogue and boom aerial refueling, and it has the longest service life of any competitor, -12,000 flight hours, Lockheed spokesman John Lusinger told the National Interest. The new ESA radar, he added, nearly doubles the range of existing radar systems, enabling much more substantial detection and targeting capability. The F-21 also uses a U.S. Navy-built advanced infrared search and track targeting technology. IRST is used extensively in U.S. Navy Super Hornet F-18 upgrades. Navy officials have described the IRST system as a passive, long-range sensor that searches for and detects infrared emissions. IRST is designed to simultaneously track multiple targets and provide a highly effective air-to-air targeting capability, even when encountering advanced threats equipped with radar jamming technology, Navy developers explained. The IRST technology was specifically engineered with a mind to the fast-changing electromagnetic warfare environment and the realization that potential future adversaries are far more likely to contest U.S. dominance in these areas. IRST also provides the Super Hornet an alternate air-to-air targeting system in a high-threat electronic attack environment, developers explained. The IRST technology, designed by Boeing and Lockheed Martin, is designed to search for heat signals over long distances, providing the aircraft with key targeting information. The IRST system, which has been tested on F/A-18s, is passive and therefore harder to detect than some radar technologies which give off radiation, Navy officials said. The F-21 could doubtless have a strategic impact upon the India-China rivalry, as advanced fourth-gen aircraft are still quite viable given the series of upgrades. The U.S., for instance, has embarked upon substantial weapons and technology upgrades for its F-16, F-15 and F-18 in an effort to sustain the combat efficacy and service life of the aircraft. They still very much pose a substantial threat to potential adversaries. However, it is fair to say that an advanced F-21, while potentially producible on a fast time frame, may not be equipped to rival the Chinese J-20 or J-31 fifth-gen stealth aircraft. At the same time, India's ultimate decision on the F-21, which recently appears to be leaning toward acquiring the plane, could easily be further influenced by recent Chinese provocations.